Ripa and Mark Consuelos' youngest son stars in the revival of Death of a Salesman, which performed its first preview on Friday, March 6th. At the top of Live with Kelly and Mark's Monday, March 9th episode, Ripa revealed the surprising reason she was not at the show. "I said to him, I want to come to first preview. And he said, Mom, no. And I was like, why? And he's like, it's previews. Just wait till opening night," Ripa explained. And I was like, I don't want to wait till opening night. I'd like to see a preview and then go to opening night. But I respected his wishes. Given Joaquin's request, Ripa decided to get out of town for the weekend. Mark stayed in New York City, as he is currently in rehearsals for his own Broadway debut in the play Fallen Angels, which also begins previews this month. Unlike Ripa, Mark was not prohibited by Joaquin from seeing Death of a Salesman's first performance. "I was having dinner with him, and we were just talking. And I said, when do you want me to come? And he goes, you can come whenever you want," Mark told live viewers. Though he was uncertain at first, Mark was convinced by his Fallen Angels castmates to watch Joaquin's first show. "They're like, you have to go on the first night. There's only one first time," he stated, to which Ripa retorted, "which is what I was saying." Mark, however, did not tell Joaquin he was going to the show. As a result, Joaquin asked Mark to deliver his dinner to the theater. "I got a ticket, but now I've got this dinner with me," Mark quipped. "I came to the theater with this little cooler pack." On Live, Mark showed off his Death of a Salesman playbill, which he had Joaquin sign. "That's his autograph. We gotta work on that," Ripa joked. Mark went on to gush about Joaquin's performance, stating, "If you're in New York, please go see this play. He's amazing. He did such a good job. You know, it's a 3-hour play with an intermission. I did not blink. I was just like watching him. There was a smile on my face." He added, "The people on either side of me were crying. And as he was taking his first curtain call, the lady next to me, she goes, Mazel Tov. Your son was amazing." Ripa noted that Mark and several of their friends sang Joaquin's praises via text. She wrapped up the discussion by sharing that Joaquin gave her approval to see the show this week. Joaquin graduated from the University of Michigan's School of Drama in May 2025. He is the youngest of Ripa and Mark's 3 children, including son Michael and daughter Lola. Death of a Salesman officially opens on Broadway on Thursday, April 9th. Mark will star alongside Rose Byrne and Kelly O'Hara in Fallen Angels, which opens on Sunday, April 19th. Broadway buzzed with excitement last weekend as the revival of Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman performed its first preview on Friday, March 6th. Among the audience were critics, theater lovers, and friends, all eager to witness the magic of the stage. Yet one expected attendee was notably absent, Kelly Ripa. The longtime daytime talk show host, beloved for her vivacious personality on Live with Kelly and Mark, took to the studio on Monday, March 9th, to explain the surprising reason why she did not attend her youngest son Joaquin Consuelos' first performance. "I said to him, I want to come to first preview," Ripa recounted with her signature mix of sincerity and humor. "And he said, Mom, no. And I was like, why? And he's like, it's previews. Just wait till opening night." The exchange left fans of both Ripa and her family intrigued. Previews are, after all, a theater tradition, a chance for the cast and crew to work out any kinks before critics arrive. Joaquin, 23, was clear that he wanted his mother to respect that tradition. Ripa admitted she initially struggled with the idea. "I don't want to wait till opening night. I'd like to see a preview and then go to opening night," she said. "But I respected his wishes." So, with her son's request in mind, Ripa made the difficult decision to leave New York City for the weekend, giving Joaquin the space he wanted for his first public performance. It was a testament to her respect for her son's growing independence and professionalism, a theme she often talks about on her show when discussing her 3 children. Meanwhile, her husband and co-host Mark Consuelos remained in New York, busy with rehearsals for his own upcoming Broadway debut in the play Fallen Angels, starring alongside Oscar nominee Rose Byrne and Tony Award winner Kelly O'Hara. Unlike Ripa, Mark was not restricted by Joaquin's request. "I was having dinner with him, and we were just talking," Mark explained on Live. "And I said, when do you want me to come? And he goes, you can come whenever you want." The father-son dynamic was clear. Mark, like Joaquin, had a shared understanding of the demands and nuances of theater life. Kelly joked that perhaps it was because they were Broadway bros, but there was an evident mutual respect for Joaquin's desire to approach his debut on his own terms. Though Mark was uncertain at first whether he should attend the first preview, encouragement from his Fallen Angels castmates convinced him. "They're like, You have to go on the first night. There's only one first time, he said. To this, Kelly laughed and exclaimed, which is what I was saying. Mark, ever the supportive father, decided to surprise Joaquin. Without revealing his attendance, he bought a ticket and devised a plan to bring his son's dinner to the theater, a clever ruse to avoid spoiling the surprise. I got a ticket, but now I've got this dinner with me, Mark quipped. I came to the theater with this little cooler pack. When it came time for the performance, Mark shared his emotional experience watching his son on stage. He's amazing, he said. He did such a good job. You know, it's a 3-hour play with an intermission. I did not blink. I was just like watching him. There was a smile on my face. The emotional resonance of Joaquin's performance was shared by audience members as well. The people on either side of me were crying, Mark recalled. And as he was taking his first curtain call, the lady next to me goes, Mazel Tov. Your son was amazing. The pride and joy of witnessing a child achieve a lifelong dream were palpable, something many parents can relate to, but rarely in such a public, celebrated context. On Live, Kelly shared that she and several friends sent congratulatory messages and texts praising Joaquin. She wrapped up the story by revealing that Joaquin had now given her the green light to attend the show later in the week. He told me it's fine and that I may come, so I am going and I don't want to hear it, she said, her laughter filling the studio. Joaquin's path to Broadway has been deliberate and disciplined. He graduated from a University of Michigan School of Drama in May 2025, following in the footsteps of many successful stage actors who honed their craft in rigorous academic programs. At just 23, his casting in a revival of Death of a Salesman is a significant milestone, highlighting not only his talent, but also his ability to command the stage at such a young age. He is the youngest of 3 children born to Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, with older siblings Michael and Lola also carving out their own paths in life. The balance of family dynamics, professional aspirations, and personal milestones has often been a theme on Live, with Kelly and Mark sharing glimpses of their children's lives while maintaining respect for their privacy. Death of a Salesman officially opens on Broadway on Thursday, April 9th at the Winter Garden Theater in New York City. The production, directed by Tony winner Joe Montello, also stars Christopher Abbott, Ben Ehlers, K. Todd Freeman, Jonathan Cake, and others, marking a highly anticipated return of this classic American play. Meanwhile, Mark Consuelos is preparing for his Broadway debut in Fallen Angels, which opens April 19th, with previews beginning March 27th. The play, directed by Scott Ellis and featuring Tracy Chimo, Christopher Fitzgerald, and Asif Manvi, promises to be another exciting chapter for the Consuelos family on the Broadway stage. The story of Joaquin's debut is more than a tale of a young actor making his mark. It is also a reflection of the modern family navigating careers, expectations, and respect for boundaries. Kelly's decision to step back, Mark's supportive presence, and Joaquin's insistence on experiencing his first preview without parental presence all contribute to a narrative of trust, growth, and familial love. As Joaquin takes his place in the spotlight, the world watches not only the revival of a classic American play, but also the coming of age of a young actor supported by a family that has learned the art of balance, patience, and pride. Kelly and Mark's pride in their youngest child, alongside their understanding of the pressures of performance, creates a story that resonates far beyond Broadway. In a week where New York's theater district celebrates history and tradition, the Consuelos family has provided a glimpse into the next generation, one filled with promise, talent, and the complicated yet beautiful dance of family life in the public eye. Fans of Live with Kelly and Mark, Broadway enthusiasts, and followers of the Ripa Consuelos family alike can look forward to seeing Joaquin on stage, knowing that the love, respect, and thoughtful decisions of his parents help shape a milestone moment that will be remembered for years to come.